Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she can't live with us anymore after she called CPS on me as a joke? I, 30 female, need to know if I'm being too harsh here because my family is completely divided. My younger sister, 26 female, moved in with my husband, 32 male, and me about 4 months ago after she lost her job. We have a toddler and a baby, so it's been hectic, but we wanted to help her get back on her feet. She was supposed to stay for 2 months max while job hunting. Here's where it gets messy. Last week, I asked her to watch the kids for an hour while I ran to the pharmacy. When I got back, she was on her phone, while my toddler had gotten into the pantry and made a huge mess with flour everywhere. I'll admit, I lost my temper and told her she needs to actually watch them when she agrees to babysit. She got defensive and said I was being ungrateful for free childcare. Reminder, she lives here rent-free. We argued, and I told her if she can't do the bare minimum to help out, she needs to start looking for her own place. 2 days later, CPS showed up at my door. The worker said they received a report that I was overwhelmed and potentially neglecting my children. I was mortified. After they left, finding nothing wrong, obviously, my sister started laughing and said she called them to teach me a lesson about being ungrateful and that it was just a prank. I told her to pack her stuff and get out. Now, she's been staying with our parents, who are furious with me. They say she made a stupid mistake, but she's family, and I'm overreacting. They keep saying she was just stressed about being unemployed and lashed out. My mom even said I'm ruining her life over a joke gone wrong. My husband backs me 100% and says what she did was unforgivable. But now some in my extended family isn't speaking to me, and my mom calls daily crying about how I'm tearing the family apart. My aunt even posted on Facebook about how some people forget where they came from, clearly about me. The thing is, I keep second-guessing myself. She is my sister, and she's never done anything like this before. But I can't get over the fact that she weaponized CPS against me. That's not a joke. That could have had serious consequences for my family. Am I the a-hole for kicking her out and refusing to let her come back? Edit. Since people are asking. Yes, the CPS worker confirmed someone called in a report. No, I don't have proof it was my sister beyond her admission. And yes, I realize now I should have recorded her confession, but I was too shocked in the moment. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You're on a list now. If she calls again, they might not be so forgiving. She's a spoiled brat and had no right. Your parents can keep her if they're so concerned. Your children and spouse are your top priorities. False reporting to CPS can be a crime. My state has fines, jail time, and possible felony charges. OP needs to look into that. Sis doesn't have to know OP knows anything. Sis can think it's because there is nothing to support her claim. Sister will be the one with a file. And if she complains or raises a fuss, OP can always say, well, reporting you for making a false report was just a joke. Don't you have a sense of humor? One day we will all laugh about this together. I am merely getting a head start. A 26-year-old jobless and homeless deadbeat is turning your life upside down, and you're there thinking about letting her back into your home? Grow a spine and stand up straight. Tell your mom to mind the business that pays her and parent her daughter better. She has failed her as a mother if she thinks her calling CPS on you is a harmless joke. She should be furious with herself for being such a useless mother and parent that her 26-year-old adult daughter is not only jobless and homeless and squatting in her sibling's house, but endangering the lives of minor children. She did not make a stupid mistake. She is the definition of stupid, and that's why she's jobless and homeless at 26. And for Pete's sake, block all those flying monkeys who have too much time on their hands and are using it to spam your phone. Not the a-hole. Agreed. The mom is a total moron. My father would have beat me if I pulled this kind of stunt, especially since it would have put grandkids in jeopardy. Mom needs a reality check. I would bet a good amount of money that mom is only saying that OP is overreacting because mom doesn't want the sister living with her. How many times do you read in this sub, when people kick someone out, the people they end up living with seem to have a problem with the situation? It's not because of the reason behind why the person was kicked out. It's because they are now directly dealing with the crap and want someone else to deal with it. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to continue breastfeeding the twins I was a surrogate for? I am 32 years old and served as a surrogate mother to my 36-year-old sister who couldn't bear children as a result of her cancer treatments. I carried twins for her and her husband using their embryos. The delivery took place 3 months ago. This is where it got bizarre. My sister keeps requesting me to breastfeed the twins since breast is best and she can't lactate. I agreed at first since I wanted to assist her, but it is taking over. She insists I visit her 5 to 6 times a day or express milk enough for all meals. I work full-time and have my own 4-year-old child to look after. I informed her I would need to reduce to perhaps twice a day and some expressed milk, and she burst out crying, telling me I was depriving the babies of the opportunity at optimal health. Her husband sent me a text stating I was selfish as I already did the hard part and should still assist them. The situation boiled over yesterday when I walked in and discovered my sister had created a bedroom for me and insisted I just come in to feed the twins whenever they wanted. I told her no and mentioned that formula was a perfectly adequate way to supplement. She took offense and said I was abandoning my nephews and breaking our agreement. I left without giving them food. My mom said she's my sister and I should be more understanding about her situation, but to be honest, I feel my body is being used as a dairy farm. Am I the a-hole if I wouldn't want to be their full-time milk supply? Not the a-hole. If they had contracted with a surrogate that was a stranger, I'm betting they wouldn't dream of making such demands. You did your part. Time for them to take over and learn how to feed their babies. That's exactly what I thought. I feel like they're taking advantage of our relationship. It's time for you to step back completely. They should be worshiping you, not hounding you to breastfeed. Not the a-hole. You gave her a gift, not a subscription. You already did something massive. You carried 2 human beings inside you for 9 months. You wrecked your sleep, your hormones, your body, your schedule, and probably your sanity at times for someone else. That's Olympic-level generosity. But apparently, in your sister's mind, that wasn't the end of the favor. Gift, not a subscription. That's hilarious but also painfully accurate. Not to mention she's been breastfeeding and pumping for them for 3 months now. If they were concerned about the initial couple weeks or colostrum, sure, I can see that. I breastfed my daughter for a week to make sure she got at least that, and promptly threw in the towel. My nips were raw, bleeding. Her latch was horrible. So she was constantly hungry. Pumping hurt even worse. And it was hell on my postpartum mental health. I applaud every single woman who has breastfed or pumped routinely. It can be hell. For them to so casually say she's already done the hard part is beyond insulting. It's a shame these details weren't previously agreed on. However, if they had used a paid surrogate, they certainly would not expect that of her. There's nothing wrong with reclaiming your body and time now. Give them some space if they are unable to accept that. Yeah, probably the best thing to keep some distance until all of us calm down a little bit. You were already their surrogate. Now they expect you to be their wet nurse? Did and are they compensating you at all? Set your boundaries firmly, OP. It might be best to keep some distance for a long time. These people have made it clear they're happy to take advantage of you, give a mouse a cookie style. They should be kissing your feet and jumping to help you out with anything you need, not calling you selfish. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my aunt she can't use my baby to fix her relationship with her daughter? A 27 female had my first baby 3 months ago. It's been rough, not gonna lie. Sleep deprived, overwhelmed, the usual new parent mess. My fiancé's great, but our families have been a lot. Anyway, my aunt, 50s, lives a few states over. I was close to her as a kid. She's my mom's sister, but we hadn't talked much in recent years. I always knew her relationship with her daughter, my cousin 25 female, was super rocky. Like yelling matches, passive-aggressive Facebook posts, no contact phases. Trauma Olympics kind of stuff. I don't even know the full backstory, but it's bad. So my aunt comes to meet the baby last week. First time she's seen me in person in years. At first, it's chill. She brings food, holds the baby, takes pics. Then I notice she's taking a lot of pics, like posing with the baby like it's a photo shoot. I didn't think much of it until later that night my cousin messages me like, "WTF is this?" Turns out my aunt posted this cringy long Facebook post like, "There's no pain like a daughter who turns her back on you, but life gives you second chances," with pics of her holding my baby, and tags me. I didn't even see it because she has me on restricted, but my cousin saw it. Apparently, people in their circle thought she was talking about adopting or fostering or whatever, like it was that dramatic. I was mad, like, you don't get to use my kid for some weird Facebook war with your own daughter. So I messaged her and told her flat out she needs to delete the post and stop using my baby to play mom on the internet. And she hit back with, "I'm sorry you're so sensitive, but that baby is healing for me. You don't understand how much I've lost." Like, girl, what? No, not my job. Not my baby's job. I told her until she gets her act together, she's not welcome around us. I don't need this weird emotional mess near my kid. Now my mom's mad, saying I should be compassionate and that my aunt just wants to feel close to family again. Like, sorry, but post about a sunset or a Bible verse or something. Don't weaponize my newborn. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. There's no pain like a daughter who turns her back on you. But let me borrow someone else's child to stage a fake redemption arc for Facebook likes? Not the a-hole. That's psychological cosplay and you shut it down. The fact that she had you restricted on the post, despite tagging you, so you wouldn't see it, absolutely means she knew what she was doing was wrong and that you wouldn't like her using your daughter as a prop or weapon. She hasn't healed at all. She's spiraling. A person who is trying to heal would have taken accountability for all the people she hurt and manipulated. If she thinks having access to your baby is healing, then she's in for a rude awakening when she burns the bridge with you too. Not the a-hole. She hid it because she knows she looks like a nut bar. OP should respond to the post what she said here. Auntie lied to get access to the baby, and kiddo is not a therapy doll. Auntie won't be allowed back again until she seeks professional help. If you really want to rub it in, invite cousin to meet the baby and have a good long chat about loopy parents, since OP has one now too apparently. Not the a-hole. Since you can't see the post, have your cousin report it as having posted content without permission. There's plenty of ways to get pictures of your child taken off other people's pages. As far as your mom, where's her compassion for her daughter's mental health? Because this is honestly frightening. I'd be scared the aunt would try to snatch my kid. Where's her compassion for her grandchild's privacy and safety? There was literally no good reason for your aunt to have made that post. Follow standard crazy family protocol. Install cameras. Cheap ones work just as well. Rekey or change locks if you feel it's absolutely necessary. Send calls to voicemail and mute texts, conversations with the aunt and likely mom. Block any unknown numbers that come your way. Block aunt on social media. There's no good reason to allow her access to any more information on you and baby. Mom gets treated similarly if she becomes a problem as well. Last story. Am I the a-hole for sending my half-sister back home to my mom and stepdad after she told people I lied about my dad being dead? So, quick background. My parents divorced when I, 22 female, was 2, and my mom met my stepdad when I was 6. My half-sister was born when I was 7, and my dad died that year too. My mom and stepdad got married when I was 8. I was upfront with the fact my stepdad would never be my dad, but we could be some kind of family. That wasn't easy for him, and he tried to win me over while not pushing, but came to terms with the reality when I was 17. We always had a respectful relationship, and while it's not close like it is between a parent and child, we're not super distant like some stepkids and step-parents can be, and I know a few who hate each other. I also have other half-siblings, but this is about Jamie, 15 female. Jamie and I were having a sister day when we ran into some friends and co-workers and some of their friends. One of their friends had lost their dad recently, and it came up that so had I, but as a kid. Jamie interrupted and told them I had lied about that my dad dying because our dad was still alive and had raised me with our mom. Most of the people knew, thankfully, and explained that my parents had divorced and my mom was married to someone else. But Jamie told them that was wrong and he was my dad too. I apologized for her being that way and we left, and I sent her straight back to my mom and stepdad. On the way there, I told her she did not get to pull that crap and try to humiliate me like that. I said she's old enough to understand my dad is dead and we have different dads. She got an attitude and said I was just being an a-hole to hers. My stepdad punished Jamie when I got her back to him and mom. My grandma told me I had overreacted and got Jamie into trouble for no good reason. She told me Jamie's a kid, and she was trying to express how sad she is that I don't accept her dad as a parent. She told me I basically just ruined mine and Jamie's relationship. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You are protecting your reputation as someone who is not a liar, as well as the memory of your bio dad. Enabling Jamie at this age will do nothing but hurt her in the long run as well, because no one will want to socialize with or be around someone who acts like this. You did her a favor. Tell your grandma to stay out of it. Besides, OP tells us she was having a sister day with Jamie. So the implication I am getting here is that OP has a goodish relationship with her half-sibling and is not denying her. She even has a decent relationship with her stepdad, so Jamie needs a reality check. Glad OP's stepdad had her back. Of course not the a-hole. Jamie wants her father to be yours as well, but those are her wishes. No reality. Yes, Jamie is a kid, but not a dumb one. She knows perfectly well how things are. It's not her business the relationship you have with your stepdad. Your grandma is absolutely wrong. Jamie called you a liar in front of people, when the true lie is her father is not the same as yours. If that makes her sad, her problem. That was kind of my feeling on it, but I wasn't wanting to be mean. But Jamie can't erase my history or my dad like that. Not the a-hole. If your and Jamie's relationship has to be based on a lie, it's not much of a relationship, and I'd tell Grandma to kick rocks. Has Jamie always been like this though? If not, she's getting it from somewhere. But 15 is old enough to know better. Of all my half-siblings, Jamie 100% was the only one to ask why I didn't call her dad my dad, or why I didn't find it easier to say he was when my dad was dead. She was never this rude about it, and never called me a liar before. Sounds like somebody got to her. Maybe Grandma. It's possible. I never would have thought so before. But I guess even just a vibe off someone else might have made her intensify this.